Hi, Sandy here. I just finished my 14th glue book. I'm gonna do a flip through of it. Look at this. Look at all those glue books. I make them all the same. I always do 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and then I bind them myself. And I just, isn't that fun? Look at that. Look at that. And I'm gonna flip it. Here's my covers. This is just white duct tape, and I make covers for them. This is the latest one that we're going to do flip through. This one I didn't do the cover on. This is one I made with my daughter. We had some brides magazines. We just did this one. So I put covers on them, and there's my Holly Hobby. That's my favorite. Mary Engelbrecht, Victorian decorating. I've got 3 Victorian books. I love doing Victorian books. What's this? Vintage People. This is from the 50s and Victorian, just all eras. This one I did with my brother. He loves the Cars movie, and it's regular cars too, not just Cars movies. And this is all kinds of classic cars and stuff. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to do my latest flip through. I just love this. Think of all the stuff I've recycled over the years, the magazines. That's a lot of paper and glue and magazine clippings. So I just bound this today. This is there's a hole here. This was a calendar page of a butterfly calendar. It's so pretty. And this is the back. It's just a piece of scrapbook paper. And that's the back side. And here you can see the stitches where I bound it. The glue is actually still wet. I mean, where I put the cover on. I put some glue on the end before I taped this on. Anyway, so there's the cover. And then I used this paper on the back to cover the calendar page. And this is my favorite page. I made this a while back. I actually cut this out of a magazine. The girl with the building, the urban culture, and these swatches. And I cut them out. And I added the landscaping. And I used paper that my daughter and I made. We like to splatter watercolor on paper. We're going to have to make another batch of that. And then this one. Oh, that's kind of crooked. Oh, well. It's homemade. What do you... I took some of my brother's classic cars, and this is coming off. Oh, well, I'm gonna fix that. So I just... It is what it is. And this is one of my first pages I made when I was learning how to do glow books, and I thought, well, I can do just anything. I cut out all this stuff from magazines, and I can use the squares, and I can cut things out, and I even used some fabric, 3D fabric paint, and I haven't done that again. Well, I did it on another page, but I only did that on 2 or 3 pages when I was just learning. It's okay, but I'm not going to do that anymore. This one I really like with the glassware and a sandwich and just random. This book is called Randomness. This is my first random book I've done. I like to have themes for my books, and this one is Randomness. I didn't get my pages very straight, but I don't care. That's fine. And this is just some stuff I cut out of a magazine. I added the sticker and cut out the girl. People on your page, cut out like paper dolls, just really seem to have an impact. And this, I just liked it. The earth without art is just eh. And I made a page with that and just put some stuff across the bottom. And my dog is here. She always follows me. This book has 2 black and white pages. This one I've been glue booking maybe almost 2 years now. And these two were both my first attempts at it, and I've just now put it into the book with some newer pages that I recently made. But I think I'm coming along. This one I made recently. This is one of my first attempts right here. It's good. It's fine. I think I recently made this one. This one. Years ago, I was playing with some stencils and I made this. And I decided I'm just going to put that on a glue book page. Then I'll have it. And this too, when I was playing with some stencils, I made this. Here's another one of my first pages. Oh, it's not bad. It's just a bunch of animals on a page. It's fine. I was just learning. I added a stamp. And I've kind of thought about doing a whole book of the royals. Queen Elizabeth and the family. They have such interesting things in the People magazine. I actually cut out all of these and put them on my own background. I added Mad About Hats. I'm not real sure that came with this, was on the same page as those or not in the magazine. And all of these ladies in their dresses. I just like that. Good old Queen Elizabeth. And this is a foam lid to Texas Roadhouse, a takeout container. And whenever my daughter and I get our takeout containers, I get a pen out of my purse and I write our name and we draw flowers and stuff on them. But this time we took them home and I challenged her to use our colored gel pens and who can decorate theirs the best. And this was my decoration, and I like it. I gotta keep it. I hope it sticks good. I think I used some glue dots. I think it's gonna be fine. And then I made this. I really like putting classic cars on my pages. I really like classic cars. And when my daughter was really small, maybe 4 or 5, we liked to cut things out of magazines. Before I ever heard of glue books, we only made a few pages, and we glued this teddy bear onto a page, and I put glue and glitter on it, and then I used some of my letters, my scrapbooking letters, and I hardly ever use my scrapbooking letters, but I wrote teddy bear, and I had this in my book. Just saved it, and then recently I thought I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to make a glue book page with it. I'll show you my book when I finish this. This is I like old photos. This is out of a magazine, obviously, but I just like old photos, and so I put that on there. And then I had I think this was American Girl. It was a whole sheet of words, and I had cut them out and hoping to use them on a page someday, and it just never did. And so this was just perfect. These two girls, imagine and explore. They're so cute. And I added these banners and the butterfly and just random stuff thrown onto a page. And then I had this picture of the butterfly on the flowers, and I just put a background behind it and a birdhouse and just added some stuff. This I saw online, and I just really liked this picture, and I printed it out large. It's a Jetson style flying car. Like in the 50s, you can tell by their clothes they've been out grocery shopping. She don't even have a seatbelt on. And here's Dad with his flying car. He's out in the yard with, it looks like a boy. I added this Phillips 66 thing, and I have several of these cards, and I put that on there, and I just really like this page. And then I started with this dog for this page, and I added just random stuff, and that was fun to do. And Halloween morning, I was feeling inspired. I'm going to make a Halloween page, and I started with this, and this, and added this, and I added an owl. I used black paper for the background, gray speckly paper. It's some paper I bought. And just some buildings like you would go trick-or-treating on this city street. I added a ghost and a cat and a bat, and I like it. Someday I plan on doing a Christmas. I'm saving up Christmas stuff, Christmas ads and stuff. I want to do a Christmas glue book. This is actually out of a 1940 magazine. I cut that out. And this is a chair from a magazine and just random stuff. This is off of my mail. I need to save more of this. I don't think about saving that, and it looks so good. I gotta keep my eye open for more of this and save more of those. And I had this porch post, which was kind of blah. Pleasurable porch, and then I added a picture of a porch and some birds and butterfly, and it's You're My Sweet Tea, and it's just, I really like how that turned out. And you can kind of see, here's some more of that watercolored paper that my daughter and I did. I'm going to make a videotape when next time we make some. And then I like dolls. I think this little girl's so cute. And so I'm thinking farm. So I used this picture and this picture with the barn and the horses. And I had this cow. I smeared some glue on it or whatever. That's fine. And this, I don't know. There's a lamb and a good egg. And then this one is fun because Halloween Day, we have 3 vehicles, and I cleaned out the interiors and I washed them and gave them a good cleaning, and we hadn't cleaned out the glove compartments in years, and there was stuff in them. And I found this and this and this in the glove compartment, and I think, I'm going to put those on a scrapbook page. I'm going to challenge myself and put them on a page, and there you go. I like that. And then I just like to pick out things that are interesting. Isn't that what we all do? Here's some socks laid out in a circle. They're partly covered up by the typewriter. And a typewriter, and added a lady, and I just, added random things, and I really like that one. And then this is actually from the parking garage where we park downtown when we go out to eat at one of our favorite restaurants. And here's some broken eggshells, and I have some of these stars, and I just had them for a long time, don't know what to do with them, just throw them on a page. And then at work, I work in a warehouse, and I keep finding these stickers laying on the floor with numbers on them. And finally, just recently, I asked one of the guys, I'll pick up a few of them, I only have like 3 or 4 of them, I don't take them home all the time. But I asked one of the guys, what are those numbers for? He says, well, that's the door number. Oh, because, we have a lot of doors where the trucks back up. And, oh, okay, so they put a sticker on a pallet, and that goes to door 29. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and then I started with this dog, and I added this lacy tabletop, and just threw some stuff on the page. This is Tim Holtz. I got 2 packages of ephemera. I keep wanting to say ephemera. No, it's ephemera. And then I've got this. This is pretty. I really like using birds and butterflies. Birds. And then I had this. This was on a big square, this wheel, and what am I going to do with that? I don't know. I don't want to use it for my scrapbooking. It's kind of Western thing. I don't know what I can do with it. So I had this car, and I put that on there, and I made it kind of a vintage, manly page, and I have several of these, and I like to get them used up. A playing card, and I like how that turned out. And I have 2 different pictures I have another picture of a woman, and she's standing on the ground facing a bull. I think this is like from an investment company. And then be yourself. Like, okay, she's a tough woman. She's going to face up to this bull and win. That's a strong woman. That's the way I see this page. Be yourself. And I like to make little clusters of things on here. Just add random things. I really enjoyed making this book, just making things random. And then I cut out this lady. She's doing a flip, and I put in a flowery background. And I found this purse and I really like it. It's got birds on it. So I cut it out, put it on the page. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Got my little cluster of things. This is a label. We've started saving labels. I got a whole baggie full of them here from things. I got to make an effort to use those. And then here's another purse with cats on it. Cats on a bookshelf, and I really like that. And I have an orange cat named Butterscotch. And this is a greeting card. And this is one of my tags that I made. I love making tags. And there's another clothing tag. And there's a cat. And I've used some orange speckled paper for the background. And this one I really liked. I made a black and white page with the dog and crossword puzzle, the stopwatch, and the car. Let's quick compare. Where's that? There's that other black and white one I did. I really like both of them. I thought about doing some solid, you know, one color pages, all shades of the color, like red or yellow. You can use all different shades. You know, black and gray, all different shades. I should make some of those. And I also like making multicolor with lots of colors. And I cut this out, just a bunch of random things on a table. Well, it's like a decorating thing or something. And this is colorful. I really like this. Sometimes your pages are kind of hit and miss, and this one I think is a hit. I think this one turned out really good. She came on this background. I didn't cut her out. This was the background she came with, and it's really colorful, and I liked it. And it was kind of country to me, you know, vintage wood. So I was thinking farm, and so I put a kind of a farm picture on there, and I used one of my horses again. And just a cluster of things. There's another mail thing. I got to remember to save more of those. I really like how those look on the page. And then I started with this. These are a few of my favorite things, so I come up with some of my favorite things. This is one of my tags that I made. I love making these tags. And this piece of paper was just a white piece of paper, and I have all of these little strips from my scrapbook paper that come when they're in a pad. Sometimes there's an extra bit, and you get these extra strips. And so I glued a bunch of pink ones to a page, and I've had that sitting around for a while, and I used it on this page. No place like home. I love getting home at the end of a day, the work day, and I just like to stay there. I love Victorian houses. That looks like my cat. I love roses. I love Victorian ladies. I love birds. Love my tags. And I love this vintage stuff. This is a piece of scrapbook paper. I really like that. Then I did this page, and I started out with this bird, and it's pink and orange. So I kind of went with a pink and orange. And I had this, spread your wings and fly. That's just perfect together, I think. Then I added this. This has some pink and orange. And pink and orange. And I added some gray just to break it up a little bit. And he's got a black head, so that looks good. And I just went with the pink and orange. And I've had this sticker for like 10 years. It came with some Disney vacation scrapbooking stuff, and I didn't use it on my Disney vacation, but I finally used it. Then I like this page too. This was I started with the classic cars, kind of elegant, and you know, penguins are like their little in tuxedo, and so he's kind of elegant. He's serving some pineapple in a cup with a spoon. Once Upon a Time is kind of imaginary, and some music, and this card came like this, and I really like it, so that turned out well. And then I've got this lady. I like to do my Victorian books, so I don't have a lot of opportunity to use more modern people, but this is good, so I put her on there. And I have a lot of these stars, and yes, I'm going to just put a red star on there to go with her red dress, and I like how that turned out. And I put a best friend sticker on there. They're the best friends. And a red, I kind of went with some red to go with her dress, a red. And I like how it turned out. And then we went on vacation to Seattle and San Francisco this summer, and we picked up this brochure. Well, it's just a card, you know, that you get in the motels of attractions. And we did not make it to the Cable Car Museum. we did a lot of things, but we didn't make it there. So, but I like the card. It's got a lot of character, so I put it in my glue book because I didn't want it in my scrapbook because we didn't go there. And then I added some minions. Hey, the minions can go there. And then this is, I believe, this is from my local newspaper. This is a Chihuly display, and I know that we have one at the Jocelyn Museum here in Omaha. So I think that is in Omaha. And then I added a clothing tag and just some little random things. And then this one, I like this one. I started with these two owls. Time spent with you. They look like they're just good buddies. And then I added this cute owl. I think they go good together. And then I added this card. I have a lot of these. These are like, they're not Project Life brand, but they're like Project Life that you can slip into Project Life scrapbooking stuff, but I don't do Project Life, but I do like the cards. But this size, I just have a hard time using them, so when I get a chance to use them, I do. And I added these two birds. This was already on the card, but I added the birds, and I added this vintage postage thing, and the butterfly, and of course these, and I like how that turned out. I like pretty much all the pages. I like this page too, but it's not my favorite. I started out with a big cookie. Well, I started with this piece of paper that I had glued a bunch of green scraps to. And then I added the big cookie. And I have several recipe cards. I didn't have a chocolate chip cookie recipe, but I had an oatmeal cookie recipes. So I put that on there. Then I have a lot of pictures of tea sets and vintage dishes, so I added that. And then this is a nice little country kitchen. It looks like a kitchen to me. And that's like, we baked our cookies in our vintage kitchen. And this says tea for two, and then I added some silverware, and I like it. And then my last page, I started out with this. This was in a magazine. It had the newspaper on it, but not the flowers. It's like some samples of mats. I think they're floor mats, or possibly placemats. No, they're floor. I don't know. Anyway, there's some mats, and I just liked I liked them, so I cut them out. And then I thought, and I like to add birds, and I see this duck. He's not a pretty bird. He's just, but I need to use it up. So I added him, and I think he looks really good with that. And I added some, this is scrapbook paper, like a vintage map. And I added this. This is Tim Holtz. And I added this. This is also Tim Holtz. And this, and so that's my book. And I'm pretty happy with it. So I said I was going to show you my book. This is my art book with my art stuff that I got going on when I'm not scrapbooking. I keep 25 pages here, and as I make my pages, I put them in here, and when it's full, that's my 50 pages. You know, 25 pages on both sides is 50 pages. That's how I do my books. So I put my glue book pages in there as I go. And then my daughter and I like to download these pictures from Pinterest and color them. Adult pictures, adult coloring with our colored pencils. I'm not good at shading or anything, but you know, I just enjoy it. And so I keep those in here. And these are some that I want to get colored. I got them all stacked in here together. And like I said, when my daughter was younger, we would glue some stuff to a page just for the fun of it. Here's some glittery scrapbook paper. And I made, this was Cinderella from a coloring book. I hope that there's not a lot of glare. I'm going to pull this out. And I just, see the glitter all over there? I just kind of imagined like the magic, the swirling around her. And I put the glue on there, and then I put the glitter on there. And I just made a little, a Cinderella page. I'm thinking about doing a scrapbook of characters sometime. And I made this page. This is a calendar. This is from a calendar that she had. I believe this is too. She's a senior in high school now, but we had Disney princess calendars for her room when she was younger. So I made this, and I made this. I added this flower with a pipe cleaner and some pom-poms. I might have to change this to something else. That's not going to work very well on a glue book page. Or the glitter, so maybe those won't go on a glue book page. And then this was a coloring book. I painted her with some glitter paint that we had. Parts of her with glitter paint, and put it on a page. And then this I actually traced and drew this. I'm not that talented. I traced it. I drew this myself and colored it. It's Barbie, and I added this tag that I have made of Barbie and put it on some background scrapbook paper, and so that was fun. And then when I was finishing my latest book, I accidentally made a 1 page too many. So this is here for my next book. If it's not Victorian, whatever book it will fit in, a theme it will fit into. I'm not going to put it in a Victorian book. And then we love Mickey and Minnie Mouse, so then I'm going to try making a Minnie Mouse page. This was one of my first attempts. I was using, I started out using glue that I watered down, Elmer's glue. I've used this for other stuff since then, but it made my page all wrinkly. So I stick with my glue sticks. I think it sticks better though with that, but it made the page all wrinkly. And I used the Stickles paint on there. I think this is textured fabric paint. But I made this page, and I'll use it in a scrapbook, in a glue book sometime. And then this, I had some stencils. We got rid of them, but I made this with some stencils, and I'm going to cut this out and put it on a glue book page someday. I think the glue books are a great way to save all of your art that you make. And then this, I think I traced this one too, Monsters Inc., and colored it, and I'll make a glue book page with that. And then this, like I said, my daughter and I like to draw on our containers from the restaurant, and I made this just playing. This was my daughter and what she was wearing that day. She's holding her phone, and Alexandra and her stupid cat. She loves her cat, and we ate at Louis M's Burger Lush. It was a restaurant, a hamburger restaurant. And I just saved it for fun. So maybe that'll end up in one of my glue books, I don't know. And then this was another one of those things that we made when we were playing when she was younger. And so I save it. So this is my art creation book. And then I've got my daughters here. I've been organizing my let me see, fashion. Here it is. I've been organizing my pages, my magazine clippings and stuff by theme and stuff, and I've been working on this book. I've got my vintage people here, and then people, and then my children and babies, dolls, cartoon and whimsical, and then models. My daughter wants to do a fashion, so we've been collecting stuff to do a fashion magazine, and I've been cutting out stuff, and I've got a lot more stuff. We've been working on this. I got all of this stuff with models. So I've been trying to get stuff cut out and stuck on pages. Just a speck of glue on the back. They're pretty flimsy. See, like this, and I can just peel it off and put it on a page when I'm ready. And I've been showing her as I go. So I think she wanted to use that one next. And then these are larger ones that I just put in a page protector. And we've got shoes. We've got clothes and shoes and purses Yeah, it's falling apart, but that's good because I don't want them to stick. I want to get them off easily. And makeup and cosmetics and lots of jewelry. Lots of jewelry. Yeah, we got a lot of jewelry. We're going to put a lot of these wedding rings in her bride book that we had made. So we're going to use up a lot of those in there. And I got some watches here. She don't like watches, but I do. I'm going to use those. And perfume bottles. I really like the perfume bottles. And then some fashion words. And I just had a word beautiful. I got to put in here. Anyway, so she's excited now to help to do a book. She says, it's my turn for you to help me do a book, Mom. So this is what we got going on. This is her book, and I helped her make this. This is her Texas Roadhouse when we competed to make those. So this is what we got going on with her glue book. And I'll do a flip through when we're done. We didn't do anything to these 2 pages. She just liked them and we just glued them onto some purple paper. And so we're doing a fashion. These 2 were when we were just learning. We made these together a couple of years ago. I've only been doing glue books for a couple of years. This was just a beautiful page as is. And I just added a perfume bottle, and I really like that. And then these I cut out just the top and left the scenery in and added gorgeous and some fancy shoes. And then these were we just liked those as is and put them on gray paper and added the black scrapbook paper. And I like how that turned out. This one is my favorite. Look at that. That's really cool, I think. And then we did this. I kind of like these with so much background. I like them, but they need more background, maybe not. But not this one. This one looks good. This one looks good just as it is. But just kind of scattered random things. I'm not real sure about that. And then we did this one. So we're working on her fashion book now. Oh, and let's see what else she's got in here. These are her coloring pages. And then she wants to do a celebrity book. We've done a couple pages of celebrity. And she liked this Hannah Montana thing. I don't know why that's in there. And we did this glue book page for her. And she likes to do some decorating. She saved some kids' rooms out of decorating. I left them like this because I have to create pages on the back side. I started out making them back to back like scrapbook. 2 pages in here back to back, but that's a lot of, all of this stack I showed you when I started the video. This is over 500 pages. At 50 pages times 14, what is that? It's like 700 pages. That's a lot of page protectors. That gets expensive. So that's why I've been binding them. So these are the pages we've done for her. And that's what we're getting started on with her. So we're enjoying our art in this book. And, I started scrapbooking 17 years ago. And since I started doing the glue books, it's like I can't wait to retire and have more time to do it. And if anybody had ever told me that I wanted to retire so bad to pursue my art, I'd have said, you're crazy. And I don't really think I'm very talented. I just enjoy it so much. And I do like the stuff I make, but do I think I should, am special? I really don't think I'm special or anything. I just really enjoy making it. And I'm going to leave this behind when I'm gone. This is my artwork. And that and my tags and borders, they're my artistic creations, and I am just loving it. So thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel, and hope I didn't talk too much, but I get carried away. So bye-bye.